afternoon, everyone. We are members of Salford City Council. We are going to commission a new portfolio of evidence-based children's service for ADHD children aged from 6 to 12. The DSM-5 defines ADHD as a persistent pattern of inattention or hyperactivity impulsivity that interferes with functioning or development, has symptoms presenting in 2 or more settings, and negatively impacts directly on social, academic, or occupational functioning. People with ADHD should have 6 or more symptoms of inattention. The symptoms have been present for at least 6 months, such as be disorganized, lack focus, have a hard time paying attention to details, and tendency to make careless mistakes, have trouble staying on topic while talking, not listening to others, and not following social rules. Also, people with ADHD have 6 or more symptoms of hyperactivity and impulsivity for at least 6 months. They might also fidget and squirm when seated, get up frequently to walk or run or climb a lot when it is not appropriate, and have trouble playing quietly. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention recently reported nearly 1 in 10 children in the United States aged from 4 to 17 years have parents diagnosed ADHD. Compared to 2003, the findings show that it is an increase of 42% in just 8 years to 2011. The survey also finds that boys are nearly 3 times more likely to have been diagnosed with ADHD than girls. ADHD children are facing school, social, and interpersonal impacts in their daily life. They usually fail in examination or perform poor in assignments because of lacking focus and concentration. In the social aspect, ADHD children might receive rejection from friends because they are violent and refuse to follow game rules. And they don't know how to share toys and learn cooperation. Also, they might have poor image of self because they see the difference between them and other peers. It is a responsibility for anyone to know and understand these students are having difficulties in classroom learning. As Salford City Council, we would like to inform Children's Service from the research evidence on ADHD students to provide some reasonable accommodation to help the disabled.
It is important that educators know when a student is diagnosed with ADHD so they can make appropriate accommodations. Studies emphasize that the importance of an individual education plan, IEP, that students, teachers, parents, and counselors can work together as a team to support the students' academic achievement and review periodically. IEP is a plan that developed for each public school child who needs special education and should be created to reflect any goals and the special education related service, along with supplementary aids and service necessary for attending those goals. It is important to keep in mind that no single education program, practice, or setting will be best for all children. All successful programs for ADHD students with 3 elements: academic instruction, behavioral intervention, and classroom accommodation. But first, in order to develop an IEP, it is needed to provide a service of helping to evaluate the child's individual needs and strengths by assessing the unique educational needs and strengths of the child with ADHD in the class. When the team must consider the strengths of the student, result of the initial or most recent evaluation of the child, and the academic the developmental and functional needs of the child. Different educational practice associated with academic instruction, behavioral intervention, or classroom accommodation are appropriate to meet the needs of the child. Finally, the educators combines this practice into an IEP to improve the deficits area. First, for academic instructions, to help children with ADHD who are poor readers improve their readings, comprehension, and learning skills, can try the following instructional practice. First, establish a fixed time each day for silence reading, where students read silently in a design time period every day in school. The underlying assumption of SSR is that students learn to read by reading constantly. It typically allows students to select their own books and require neither testing for comprehension nor books reports. Second, individual chalkboards. It can ask the child to practice copying and erasing the target words on small individual chalkboards. Two students can be paired to practice the target words together. Finally, patterns. Teach the students to organize patterns when adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing whole numbers.
There is effective instructions for children with ADHD that using behavioral interventions. The aim of behavioral interventions for ADHD children in IEP is to help children to learn how to control their impulsiveness and hyperactivity. By using behavioral interventions, it can make children who has ADHD to easily control themselves better and to prevent disciplinary problems and provide an environment that is most favorable for learning. We plan to implement 3 interventions into the program. The first one, define the appropriate behavior while giving praise immediately. Praise will be given out immediately, specific for the positive behavior displayed by ADHD children. Instead of praising a student for not disturbing the class, teachers should praise the students on positive issues, such as when they finish the lessons or exercises on time. Sooner the approval, children are more likely to repeat the behavior. Fairy comments should be used. Praise need to be consistent in the same situation and sincere with the praise. The second one is selectively ignore the inappropriate behavior. If ADHD children's behavior is unintentional or unlikely to reoccur or is intended to gain the attentions of teachers, teachers can selectively ignore that, as they might intentionally do it again to gain attention. The last one is activity reinforcement. We should motivate ADHD students to join class activity and praise them more frequently when they cooperate with others, join or finish the activities. These actions can improve children's desirability on joining next social activities with classmates.
With ADHD students, special educational needs are needed with using classroom accommodation. The accommodation are usually provided by teachers within the general education environment. Pick up the things that they can do and cannot modify the content of material used in class, but can allow ADHD students to receive and understand what they learn in ways that work with their impairment. To minimize the significance of their disability in learning. Guidelines of classroom accommodation to help students with ADHD are below. First, when giving directions, state the desired behavior in positive terms. For example, tell the students to walk rather than telling them don't run. 6. Listen quietly instead of stop thinking. Also, give instruction in short and brief form. Apart from the above principles, there are two special seating arrangements made especially useful with helping ADHD students. First, seat the child near the teachers. Since ADHD students are easily get distracted by noise passing by or their own thoughts, that they often miss the vital classroom information. It is better to assign a seat for a child near the teacher or close to the blackboard, away from high traffic areas such as door, pencil sharpeners, and talkative students. With this arrangement, can provide opportunities for tutors to check and reinforce the child's test behavior. Second, seat the child near a student role model. Assign the child to sit a student role model. This seat arrangement provides opportunities for students to work cooperatively and to learn from their peers in class. In addition, the fidgeting and excess energy that many ADHD students experience can be problematic and may causing social and behavioral problems and getting troubles to work with other regular students in class. In order to release the boundless energy, it suggests that to let students to have morning exercise time before the class. When students engage in regular exercise, they may release some of this excess energy, which can free them to focus on their studies in the classroom. A calmer child often get along better with peers as well. Studies have suggested that children with ADHD who participate in the morning exercise before spending time in the classroom may experience less problem and weakness in attention.
Attention training. ADHD, which is neurodevelopmental disorder that children have core symptoms of hyperactivity and lack of attention. By Montour et al., children with ADHD experience attention and behavior challenges at school, which causes poor academic outcomes. IEP do not provide enough attention training for ADHD children, and this is quite important for them as attention could help them improve on academic performance. Computer attention training includes two main types of neurofeedback and cognitive training that's designed to improve attention for children with ADHD. Children with ADHD frequently showed improved theta activity, which represent a drowsy state in the frontal cortex tested by EEG. Therefore, frequently use of neurofeedback to the computer task could increase the beta wave, which represent attentive state, and suppress their theta waves in order to increase the attention level. With more times of practice, children learn to alter their brainwaves to obtain a goal there that reinforces the state of attention. Cognitive training keep on using computer feedback to reinforce children to do right responses. Thus, training attention and working memory and decreasing impulsivity. Cognitive training has been found very functional to improve working memory and decrease symptoms of ADHD. Improved work memory has also been shown that children have improvement in the task, needs mathematical problem solving and reading comprehension skills. Computer attention training can carry out by games that make children do neurofeedback correctly to the task, and also cognitive training, such as, firstly, photo hunts. Children need to concentrate to two pictures and find out the differences between two pictures in limited time. Second, find a way. Children will be given out a picture which usually a maze. They need to draw a route on the maze in order to help the animals to find their food or friends. Third, sleight of hands. Children will be given up some pictures with hand on it. So hands could be carrying objects and some would be mirror images. Children should be highly focused and choose the right answer to determine the hand is right or left hand.
As a part of the Salford Council, it is our responsibility to fully understand the symptoms, prevalence of ADHD and accommodate school settings to help out ADHD students. As mentioned before, the amount of ADHD students is increasing every year, and we cannot ignore their needs in their daily lives. As our aim is to provide care for them and help them to adapt much more better in their social life, we decided Individual Education Program, which is the IEP, is a program that is specialized for children who need special education. There are three main elements must be included in our IEP. Academic instructions are how we plan to improve their academic results, as ADHD students usually have a hard time paying attention to details and tendency to make careless mistakes, and also easily distracted by things. We will have to ensure them to have better academic performance. We will also need them to learn how to control their impulsiveness. Focus of behavioral intervention will be one of our focus. By helping them to control their impulse, it could help them to maintain their self-esteem by not looking awkward among peers, such as to have morning exercise time before the classes, to let ADHD students to release their excess energy to reduce their chances of fidgeting while sitting. Classroom accommodations is also indispensable while dealing with ADHD students. As IEP does not provide enough attention in attention training, we will also implement attention training into our IEP development by using interesting computer games such as photo hunt to improve their ability to pay attention alongside improved problem solving and comprehension skills. To conclude, we would suggest IEP with our mentioned attention training is the best way for our council to handle ADHD students. While we are not only taking care of them, we also look to improve their social ability and status, and also helping them to achieve better academic results. Therefore, we would like our plan to be implemented in our council. Thank you.